All right. So today in the news, you know what I'm saying? I was wandering around, seeing what's going on. I come across this article. This is the top news story on Google. Trump wants to send Americans checks immediately in response to coronavirus, Mnuchin says. Helicopter drops. Fucking helicopter drops. This is just an obscene way of doing things. This is fucking communism. This is socialism. This is the dumbest stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I don't even know what to say. All right. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said Tuesday that the Trump administration wants to send checks to Americans in the next 2 weeks in an effort to help people cope with the economic fallout due to the coronavirus pandemic. We're looking to send checks to Americans immediately, Mnuchin said during a press briefing from the White House. Americans need cash now. The president wants to get cash now. I mean now, in the next few weeks. White House eyes massive $850 billion stimulus package next as Senate moves on the latest coronavirus bills. All right. As the White House held its press conference Tuesday with President Trump, Vice President Mnuchin, and the coronavirus task force present Dow rallied nearly 1,000 points after sustaining historic losses on Monday. Yo, look. You got to let it collapse, dude. You have to let these companies go under. They have to learn that they cannot continue to be leveraged the way they are. It means they can't be in this much debt. Like, legit. The amount of debt that these individuals are carrying is unbelievable. All right. The president has instructed me we have to do this now, Mnuchin said. Though to not get specific, except to say the amount would be significant and the millionaires would not receive it. Fox News has learned, however, that Mnuchin is pressing GOP senators for a package that would send $200 billion plus of payments to Americans by early April. Well, let's see what that math is. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes down to it. Okay, so that's $200 billion, right? Oh wait, that's billion dollars, right? Divided by, we'll call it. What do you want to call it? 200 million people? We'll call it 200 million people, just to see where the math is. Equals, yeah, it's $1,000 a pop for each individual, right? If it's 200 million people that's going to get this, which I don't think it will be. I think it'll be a little less. So that's like $1,200, $1,300 for individuals, everybody in the United States. Who's not a millionaire and who's not a child, right? Mnuchin's comments came as the White House is in negotiations with lawmakers on Capitol Hill to approve sweeping economic stimulus package to help U.S. businesses and taxpayers deal with the economic fallout from a rapid spread of the novel coronavirus. Mnuchin on Tuesday also announced that the Treasury Department would not extend deadline to file taxes by the April 15th deadline as much of the tax filing can be done online. We encourage Americans who can file taxes to continue to file taxes on April 15th because for many Americans, you will get tax refunds, and we don't want you to lose out on those tax refunds, Mnuchin said. Mnuchin added that if individuals or corporations owe money to the Internal Revenue Service after filing their taxes, those payments are now able to be deferred up to 90 days interest-free. If you owe a payment to the IRS, you can defer up to $1 million as an individual and $10 million to corporations, interest-free and penalty-free for 90 days. Mnuchin continued. File your taxes. You'll automatically not get charged interest or penalties. Mnuchin was planning to outline nearly $850 billion package during a lunch with Senate Republicans Tuesday, which the Trump administration officials hope to have approved by the end of the week. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, opening the Senate on Tuesday morning, promised swift action. The Senate will not adjourn until we have passed significant and bold new steps that above and beyond what the House has passed to help our strong nation and our strong underlying economy weather the storm, McConnell said. Yo, the economy is not strong, right? It's not a strong underlying economy. Like, the fuck out of here. This is all built on like a house of cards. The Trump administration stimulus package is bigger than the 2008 bank bailout and the 2009 American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, which passed and signed under former Barack Obama and totaled $787 billion to help stabilize the economy about 14 months after the last recession. Okay, so let's talk about this, all right? First off, we pumped ourselves, what, 7 trillion into the markets. You know what I'm saying? Like into like just in general, and like the money kind of went out across the world. We bailed out the rest of the world, right? But it was 13 trillion worldwide that ended up getting printed out, and you know what I mean, stimulus back then. The 787 billion was just, you know what I mean, the domestic package as far as things were concerned. You know what I mean? That was like auto bailouts and you know, money to the U.S. citizens and, you know, these type of things. You know what I'm saying? But it had very little to do with the amount of money that was given to banks. I mean, that was like TARP funds, I guess. That was like actual legal money. The rest of it was kind of just Fed, you know, came right out of the Fed, right out of the discount window. Trump, during the press briefing Tuesday, said there was a great spirit among lawmakers with regard to the plan. I can say that for Republicans and Democrats. Meanwhile, the president and the coronavirus task force, which is led by Vice President Pence, touted the administration's progress on testing for COVID-19 and announced that the Food and Drug Administration has announced new policies to increase testings. We have tremendous testing capacity, Trump said. Pence said that the testing is now available in all 50 states and announced that state health authorities can now authorize labs in their state and expand existing testing capabilities. Pence also said that the administration has continued to expand its public-private partnership with vast commercial labs in the country, which he said is increasing access to the coronavirus testing. This is greatly expanding access, even as we speak, Pence said Tuesday. It is important that the American people understand that testing is happening all around the country, Pence said, adding that experts want me to tell American people that you don't need the testing to know what you should do. Experts say that if every American acts on the coronavirus guidelines, we can see a substantial reduction in the spread. But as the president said, it will take all of us to do it, Pence said. None of these guidelines rolled out by the White House and CDC Monday, which included social distancing, limiting social gatherings of groups of less than 10 individuals, and staying at home. For the American people as a whole, the risk of serious illness remains low, Pence said. Yeah, it's true. I mean, like, for most people, this is going to be a flu, all right? It's for the elderly and those who are, like, who have a damaged immune system or a weakened immune system, cancer patients, HIV individuals, things of this nature. These are the people who are going to be in the most danger of dying of this when it really comes down to it. So, like, understand, like, Italy has one of the oldest populations in the world, and that's why their numbers are almost at 10% at this point when it comes down to it. There's reasons for it. One guideline specifically states that if you're an older person, stay home and away from other people. Another states, if you're a person with serious underlying health condition that can put you at increased risk, for example, a condition that impairs your lungs or heart function or weakens your immune system, stay home and away from other people. We have to fight that invisible enemy. I guess unknown, but we are getting to know it much better, Trump said of the virus. We are looking to save a maximum number of lives. The president also announced that he's been having conversations with governors across the nations, leaders in the fast food, pharmaceutical, and grocery industry, and will meet with leaders of the tourism industry on Tuesday. The president was also asked about his tweets referring to the coronavirus as the Chinese virus and whether he thought his rhetoric would create a stigma. Trump denied that notion, calling it a very accurate phrase and saying that his response to China spreading disinformation about the U.S. military spreading COVID-19. Rather than having an argument, I said, I have to call it where it came from, Trump said. I did. It came from China. It did come from China. The outbreak is believed to have originated at an animal and seafood market in the city of Wuhan, China. We're taking aggressive action now as one nation and one family so that America can rebound stronger, frankly stronger than ever, he said. This dude here, man, legit. This motherfucker is a goddamn carnival barker. The World Health Organization designated COVID-19 a global pandemic last week. Trump announced a national emergency on Friday. The president also announced a temporary halt on air travel to the United States from Europe, now including flights from the United Kingdom, but excluding those carrying cargo. When asked Tuesday whether he would limit domestic travel, the president replied, "It's possible." So quarantines are coming, all right? The coronavirus task force also predicted Tuesday the number of cases in the U.S. Could peak in approximately 45 days. As of Tuesday morning, there are more than 4,660 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the U.S. in 49 states, including Washington, D.C. The U.S. so far has seen 85 coronavirus-related deaths. And let me be real, that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? Compared to, like, there's 9,000 cases in Italy, something like that. And, there's like 900 deaths. Something along them type of lines. It might be like 100,000. There's like 9,000 deaths, right? Like, yo, legit though. Like, but that's real shit. We're not doing bad. You know what I mean? Yo, we're a nation of fucking smart people when it really comes down to it. You know what I mean? That's the reality of it. And, you know, we always get through the bullshit. You know what I mean? That's why, like, we rely upon our freedom more than anybody else does. You know, it's something that is inherent in us. You know what I mean? Like, I was having a discussion on a live stream the other day, you know what I mean? And I told a dude who, you know what I mean, was a big fan of China's response. I said, look, this is a different country. You know, like, there isn't an American male over 35 who doesn't, you know what I mean, know by heart that Benjamin Franklin phrase, those who trade essential liberties for safety, you know what I mean, deserve neither and will receive none. We all know this. You know what I'm saying? You don't trade away your liberties for safety. You know what I mean? I think it was like Washington or Jefferson, one of them, they said, you know what I mean, patriots prefer, you know what I'm saying, the tempestuous seas of freedom to the calm seas of despotism. It is what it is. Anyway, man, I'm Tom Piece of Pnoid News. Y'all know the deal. Like, share, and subscribe. Man, look, thanks for coming out, everybody. I'll holla at y'all later. Peace.